My name is Christopher Russell. I have a law degree from Wake Forest University. I held the top secret clearance at the Departments of Defense and State. If I look tired, I am. It's 12:30 in the morning. But people keep asking me, what do we do? I want to be the next president of the United States, and they want leadership. So I'm going to answer. I have been thinking about this for 3 days nonstop. When I hear that question, I hear four separate questions. The first two go hand in hand. The first version of that question is, what do I do? I, the question asker. And I can't answer that question for you because it depends on your risk tolerance. How much money do you have? Can you travel? Are you disabled? Are you a black or brown person? Are you more at risk? Are you documented, undocumented? Who are you? I don't know you. So we have to have the second question. What do I do in the generic? My advice for any random person, you viewer watching this, is to log off. That is difficult advice to give, makes me feel like kind of a hypocrite, but it's true. You need to consume less news and less content. You do not need to participate in the outrage machine. If you are outraged, if you are upset, you're well justified. But consuming more is not going to help you actually do anything. It is just poisoning your mind and making it hard to live on a daily basis. It is making people depressed. I see it thousands of times now. I experience it frequently. Stop consuming news and content. If you must consume the news, schedule something. Take it in once a day. Bookmark all of your favorite creators and only watch them. Watch them cover the news, watch them give analysis. You do not need a play-by-play. Especially just like during the day scrolling, please stop. The second piece of advice for any generic individual is if you have the resources, the wherewithal, the ability to travel to a major metropolitan center and protest, please do so. If you can go to DC and risk arrest for sleeping in a tent in a public park, great. If you have the resources to pay for a hotel room, fantastic. If you could pay for a hotel room for multiple people and you know them and you could bring them with you, even better. We need to fill the streets of the country, even more than we are now. We have to keep doing it for as long as we possibly can, for as long as we have the legal right to do so. That's my second piece of generic individual advice. The third version of the question, what do we do? Meaning we, all of us who would go do things like protest, who care, who are on the same page about rising authoritarianism, white nationalism. What we do is connect with one another, just like I'm trying to do with you here. You need to find groups, in person preferably, and online otherwise, people who share your views and your values, and connect with them for real. Play online Yahtzee. Find people who like chess. Do the daily Wordle together in Discord chat. I'm serious. Connect with one another. Share your real names and personal details about your lives. Put on some lo-fi and background with a fireplace on it and chat. In person would be great, but as a pretty indoorsy and antisocial kind of person myself, I understand that can be hard. I don't have a long history of friends and connections in my local environment, nor do I live close to a major metropolitan area, nor do I have any money. So I sound a bit like a hypocrite. I do my best. We all do our best. Not judging you. I'm saying the more we connect with one another for real, the better off we will be. We will not win this without society working together on the same page. A social environment, a social revolution. The fourth version of the question, and the most frustrating one. What do we do? The we in that sentence is elected representatives, people with power, people who should be doing more. We all feel that way. Unfortunately, frequently that refers to Democrats in Congress, and they are a minority in Congress. There is precious little that they can do, and they still suck at the little that they can do. I do not understand and will never understand why someone can sit in a room with Ron Johnson or Ted Cruz or any of these people who conducted a literal insurrection against the United States, who staged fake electors, who were part of a scheme that resulted in a federal indictment against Donald Trump. They were all part of it, and they're still in Congress. Not only are they still supposed to be doing this job in our government as traitors, but no one calls them traitors. I would not be able to be in a room with Ted Cruz without calling him a traitor. I couldn't do it. And I don't understand why our representatives don't. If that resulted in me getting thrown out of the halls of Congress by the sergeant at arms, yeah, I'll do it every time. I'll get thrown out every single day because that man and all those people are traitors to the United States. And now, anyone who has pledged allegiance to this administration, who has gone along with their whims, who has passed their bills, who is holding up for them on news and online and on social media, they are complicit. They are part of the authoritarian takeover. And that makes them traitors. Democrats are not doing anything about that. In the halls of Congress, my attorney general for the state of North Carolina is suing this administration left, right, and center. Many, many attorney generals are. Attorney generals of states are usually the only ones with standing to sue for things that this administration does. I'm not going to explain it. Standing is a stupid, artificial thing. No, we can't file a class action. No, we can't sue the government for sending in the National Guard. We can't. That's not how the courts work. I wish that it was how they worked. If you heard a squeak, that was my elbow on the table. It's late, but I'm not going to fart into the camera, I promise. So it makes sense to be upset, but you're also kind of looking in the wrong direction and you have some misguided expectations because you are desperate. Understandably, you should be angry. Democrats are not doing as much as they could, even just verbally, but also like they won't go into ICE detainment facilities, which they have the right to go into a facility that is in their district. They can bring federal marshals and break the doors down, and that has not happened not one time. I don't understand that either. There are things that they could have done when USAID was being shuttered and the whole government was being gutted. There was more that they could have done. It may not have had an ultimate effect, but they could have tried, and frequently they did not. However, in your local and state governments and among your community leaders, they are trying. We don't have a lot of power. We have to go out in the street. We have to form community, find people with social capital, with money, with elected office, with connections and resources, and meet them. Make sure that they understand the gravity of the situation. You and all of the people with you, tell them how serious this is to you, and work with them to use whatever power they have. And in your municipality, that might be the sheriff, the mayor, the chief of police. If you connect with them and they're clear on what is important to the citizens of your town, then maybe they can resist ICE. Maybe they can make things difficult for federal intrusion into your local area. Maybe. There are no easy answers. If you are upset, so am I. If you want a revolutionary leader, well, that's what I would like to be. I do not have the capital, nor the social clout, nor the following. I'm trying. I'm in a room. That's all I have. If you want to help me with that, by all means, send me a DM. I care an enormous amount about this country. I care about our policy. I care about our laws. I care about having a functional government and constitution. And I care about putting the traitorous, treasonous criminals in this administration in jail and revoking the pardons that they have issued to people who have stolen billions of dollars from us and who invaded our capital on January 6th, 2021, the day I told my wife I wanted to go to law school. I want to do more. So please follow me for more.